Welcome back to MercAi Studios. I have an interesting topic to share. Let's get started. We were taught how to behave long before we were taught how to feel. A woman in her best behavior, soft voice, polite smile, emotions edited down to something acceptable. A man strong, composed, unshaken, feel but never too much, never where it shows. And somewhere in all that instruction, we learned something dangerous, that feelings need permission. So we started performing ourselves. We learned how to cry quietly, how to be sad but not inconvenient, how to grieve on schedule and smile through joy so it doesn't look foolish. We learned how to say, I'm fine, even when we weren't, especially when we weren't. Because sadness was called weakness, joy was called childish, anger was called unattractive, sensitivity was called too much. So we adjusted, we shrank, we composed ourselves into something presentable, but emotions were never meant to be tidy. Grief is messy, joy is loud, sadness lingers longer than people are comfortable with. Happiness doesn't always make sense, and yet we were taught to experience them as if they were performances for an audience. Because when you constantly manage how you feel, you stop knowing what you actually feel. That's when we started losing touch. Not with others, with ourselves. You don't cry when you're sad, you cry when it's appropriate. You don't laugh when you're joyful. You laugh when it won't draw attention. You don't rest when you're tired, you rest when you've earned it. And slowly, quietly, life becomes something you endure instead of something you experience. This is where whimsy comes in. Whimsy isn't childish. It isn't unserious. It's not chaos. Whimsy is permission. Permission to feel without translating it. To be sad without explaining why. To feel joy without shrinking it. To laugh too loudly. To grieve strangely. To feel deeply, unevenly, honestly. You don't have to make your emotions palatable for them to be valid. It's allowing yourself to feel without asking if it looks good, to experience happiness without guilt, sadness without shame, softness without apology. It's remembering that before we learned rules, before we learned roles, before we learned restraint, we felt freely. Children cry and laugh in the same breath. They move between emotions without shame. They don't rank feelings as strong or weak, they just feel. Somewhere along the way, we were told to grow out of that. But maybe maturity isn't control. Maybe it's honesty. Maybe strength isn't silence. Maybe composure isn't suppression. Maybe healing looks less like fixing yourself and more like letting yourself be human again. So be whimsical, not reckless but curious, not dramatic but honest. Let yourself feel without rehearsing it, without moderating it, without packaging it for others. Because emotions aren't a problem to solve. They're a language to listen to. And life feels better when you stop performing it.